Welcome to Talebot Studios, where stories, imagination, and creativity come alive.
What if power made a man blind, and comfort made him cruel? What if a crown was waiting, but the man beneath it wasn't ready? And what if the road, not the throne, was the real teacher? This is not the story of how a prince became a king. This is the story of how a king was born on a dusty road. Once upon a time, in the rich and beautiful kingdom of Oria, lived a wise old king named King Magnus. King Magnus was loved by everyone because he listened to his people. He fixed their roads, helped the farmers, and kept the kingdom safe. However, the king was getting old. He had one son, Prince Aryan, who was going to be the next king. Prince Aryan was very handsome and strong, but was very arrogant. He believed that because he was a prince, he was better than everyone else. He never walked on the mud, he only walked on red carpets. He never spoke to common people, he only spoke to rich ministers. He thought being a king meant sitting on a big chair and giving orders. One day, Prince Aryan kicked a servant out of the room just because the servant accidentally spilled a drop of water on his golden shoes. King Magnus saw this. He was very worried. He thought, if Aryan becomes king like this, he will destroy the kingdom. He does not know what it means to be a leader. The next morning, King Magnus called Prince Aryan to the throne room. The room was full of ministers. "My son," the king said, "tomorrow I will retire. It is time for you to become the king." Prince Aryan smiled happily. "Finally, I will wear the heavy crown and everyone will bow to me." "But," the king raised his hand, "there is one condition. Before you wear the crown, you must bring me a special gift. You must bring me the sound of a happy tear." The prince was confused. "The sound of a happy tear? What is that? Can I buy it with gold?" "No," said the king, "you cannot buy it, and you cannot take any guards, any money, or your golden shoes. You must go into the kingdom wearing the clothes of a common farmer. You have 1 month. If you return without the gift, you will not be king." Prince Aryan was shocked, but he wanted to be king, so he agreed. He took off his expensive silk clothes and wore a rough, torn shirt and simple pants. He walked out of the palace barefoot onto the dusty road. For the first time in his life, Aryan was alone. He had no servants to bring him food. He had no horse to carry him. The road was hot. Sharp stones hurt his feet. By the afternoon, he was very thirsty and hungry. He walked to a bakery and demanded, "Give me bread." The baker looked at him and laughed. "Who are you to order me? If you want bread, pay for it." "I am Prince Aryan," he shouted. The people laughed louder. "Look at this madman. He thinks he is the prince in those dirty clothes." Aryan felt ashamed. He realized that without his crown and clothes, nobody respected him. He walked away, hungry and tired. He sat under a tree and cried. He had never felt hunger before. An old woman passing by saw him. She was carrying a heavy bundle of wood. She stopped and gave him a piece of dry roti. "Eat, son," she said kindly. "You look like you have lost your way." Aryan ate the dry bread. It tasted better than any feast he had ever eaten in the palace because he was truly hungry. "Why did you help me?" Aryan asked. "I have nothing to give you." The old woman smiled. "We help each other because we share the same pain. That is what humans do." Aryan needed to survive for a month. He found work at a farm in a small village. The work was very hard. He had to wake up before the sun, carry heavy bags of rice, and clean the cow sheds. His hands, which used to be soft, became rough and hard. His back hurt every day. In the village, he met a man named Gopal. Gopal was a poor farmer with a wife and 2 children. Gopal worked very hard, but he was always smiling. One night, sitting by the fire, Aryan asked Gopal, "You work so hard, but you have so little money. The king takes taxes from you. Are you not angry?" Gopal poked the fire with a stick. "The taxes are high," Gopal admitted, "but I am not angry at life. I have my family. We eat together. When my neighbor is sick, I help him. When I am sick, he helps me. True richness is not gold, my friend. True richness is sleep without worry." Aryan listened silently. He thought about his soft bed in the palace where he often could not sleep because he was thinking about his power and image. Here, on the hard floor, he slept instantly because he worked hard. 3 weeks passed. Aryan was no longer the arrogant boy. He was stronger, quieter, and humbler. He forgot about the sound of a happy tear. He just wanted to help his new friends. One evening, a terrible storm hit the village. The rain did not stop. The river nearby started to rise. The villagers were terrified because the water was going to enter their houses and destroy their crops. "The dam is breaking," someone shouted. If the dam broke, the whole village would drown. The village head cried, "We must run."
We cannot save the village.
But Aryan stood up. The old Aryan would have run away to safety. The new Aryan remembered Gopal's kindness. He remembered the old woman who gave him bread. "No!" Aryan shouted. "If we run, we lose everything. We can fix the dam. We need sandbags and stones." "Who will lead us?" the villagers asked. "We are scared." Aryan didn't say, "I am the prince." He simply acted. "Follow me," he yelled. Aryan ran into the rain. He carried the heaviest stones. He stood in the freezing water, stacking bags to stop the leak. Seeing his bravery, the other men joined him. Then the women came to help. Even the children brought small stones. They worked all night in the cold rain. Aryan's hands were bleeding. His body was shivering, but he did not stop. He was not working for a crown. He was working for his people. By morning, the rain stopped. The dam held strong. The village was saved. The villagers were exhausted but alive. They looked at Aryan with wide eyes. They cheered for him. They hugged him. Gopal came to Aryan. Gopal was crying. He hugged Aryan tightly. "Thank you," Gopal wept. "You saved my children. You saved our home. We don't know who you are or where you came from, but today, you are our king." As Gopal cried on Aryan's shoulder, Aryan heard it. It wasn't a sound of sadness. It was a sound of pure relief and gratitude. It was a cry of joy because his family was safe. Aryan realized this was the sound of a happy tear. The month was over. Aryan said goodbye to the villagers. He did not tell them he was the prince. He promised he would come back to help them. He walked back to the palace. He was dirty, his hair was messy, and he had no shoes. But he walked tall. He didn't walk with arrogance. He walked with confidence. He entered the throne room. The ministers covered their noses because Aryan smelled like mud and sweat. King Magnus looked at his son. He saw the scars on his hands and the dirt on his face. "Did you bring the gift?" King Magnus asked. "I did, father," Aryan said softly. "Show me," said the king. "I cannot show it to you in a box," Aryan said, "but I can tell you. I heard the sound of a poor farmer crying tears of joy because I helped save his home. I learned that a king's power is not in his golden shoes, but in his hands that serve others. The happy tear is the feeling you get when you use your power to take away someone else's pain." The whole room was silent. King Magnus stood up. He had tears in his own eyes. He walked down from the throne and hugged his dirty son. "You left as a prince," King Magnus said, "but you have returned as a king." Prince Aryan became King Aryan, but he was different. He lowered the taxes for the farmers. He built strong dams so villages would never flood. He often left the palace in simple clothes to walk among his people, ensuring no one was hungry. He became the greatest king in the history of Oria, not because he had the most gold, but because he had the biggest heart. Moral of the story: to be a true leader, you must serve others first. People respect you for your kindness and hard work, not for your money or your title. If you enjoyed the story, please support us by liking the video and subscribing to the channel. See you soon with another tale.